What is going on, people? Welcome. Johnny here, and we are going to play something a little different. This is King Under the Mountain. Different than what I usually play anyway, although it's going to look a lot the same. So, this game is still in early development. See, it's alpha 8.1.20. So, it has some amazing potential. And right now it's just a building and expanding game, and that's what it is. There's no battles or war. You can hunt animals at this point, but you can't. Well, if you hunt the elephants, they'll kill you every time. What is this? So you can't really see what's on the map. You could just see the color of the resource that's there. Obviously, since we're dwarfs, and the point of this game is to tunnel into this mountain and make a really big, awesome hold. I think we'll start over here. You want to be, you can see on the map, these little dots down here are trees, and this whole site is covered in trees, but we won't be able to get over there anytime soon. So you want some wood nearby. You could start in this little alcove up here, but I want to be as close to the water as possible. And right now in the game, there's no sense doing anything for defense. Now, one thing to note, the center tile that you click, the center of this, what is this, 9 tile square, you have to leave that unblocked forever. Right now there's a bug, and maybe he'll get to it sooner rather than later, but if you block this center tile with a wall or some kind of building at some point, you will no longer get new people showing up at your settlement. So in the spring's when you get new people in this game, if you're successful for the year. So I think I'll start here because I'd like to be really close to the water. We are going to have to, because your people have to run back and forth to get water all the time. So, or you can build water pumps, and then you're screwing around running pipe all the way over there. Maybe it makes sense to come up here a little more. Let's see. I'm actually going to stay the course, and we'll go right here. Boom. So, beginning of this game, things to do first. See what you got going on in terms of your people. Make sure, well, it'll generally give you a fair distribution of stuff. You can see, though, we have one farmer. That's a problem. So, what I typically do early game is I go over here and I assign everybody. Oh, that person must already, yeah, that guy is a farmer, to farm. And then I focus right away on kicking out 8 little farm fields and getting all my seeds planted. Before I do anything else, I let them sleep on the ground. It's horrible, I know, but you want the food in the ground as early as possible because you want to start reaping harvests. And then later on, we'll go turn that off and switch it around as we need people to do other tasks. So other things you need to do right away when you get going here. And I'm keeping it paused because they're all carrying stuff around that they need to set down. You need somewhere to put your seeds. So we can pop those babies there. And then you need somewhere to put all your tools down. The tools will rust, but it doesn't seem to me like it happens terribly quickly. No. So, yeah. Regardless, these things will rust too. And one thing you can do to mitigate that, just go ahead and pop a roof right over that little bad boy right there. There you go. So that'll mitigate that. Now, for now, we're not going to deal with any of these other types of zones. We'll get to that. So we have tools, we have seeds. We shouldn't have any granary food. We might have some weapons. Let's pop that down. We could set somebody to hunt eventually. Again, do not, under any circumstances, this is not what I want, hunt the elephants. Every single time I've tried it, my dwarf has been killed. So, okay, I think we're ready here. So now let me just set up some farming plots here, and then we'll let it cruise. So for farming plots, you just go to zone, farm plot. You start with, well, there's 8 different types of crops you can plant in this game right now. And you notice I'm leaving a little space in between them. That's because if they touch, they'll combine, and that drives me bananas. So I don't let them touch. And I mean, you can play it, see it like that, and then I don't know. then I think they'll just plant either or there, but I don't want that to happen. I want to control what gets planted. And then starting relatively small, we'll do 5 by 5, which means I'm going to have to start over. All right, so there we go. We have 8. And then if you click on a zone, you can see what your options are. I usually just set 1 to each, and then as you see that zone get full, meaning there's plants covering the whole thing, then I just go and I create another zone, or I expand that zone for that plant so they can continually max out the seeds they're growing. And then when they harvest plants, they get additional seeds. So everybody's set to farm. There's no other tasks to do. Now they are dumping stuff on the ground that we don't really want to be dumped on the ground, but there you go. It seems like even if the stuff rusts, it's fine. I usually run this baby pretty much in 4x speed the whole time. If the noise sounds are a little bit loud, see there's the elephant. Oh, that's the sound of them tilling the soil. Anyways, these dudes, I've never been able to successfully hunt one without getting killed. I'm going to go tweak the sound settings. It's coming in really loud for me. You know what? I bet it's not doing that for you. Never mind. I've turned down the sound capture on this game. See them running? So one thing you want to do to mitigate how far they're running for that is you can just do zone, kitchen, and then furniture, pop in a water barrel. So somebody will go get water and fill this barrel. So then when the other dudes want water, they'll just get it from the barrel. That'll save a bunch of running time. And then in the meantime, I don't do much. If you start putting in tons of tasks, which if you've watched me play RimWorld, you'll know that's what I do. You'll notice like nothing happens. So they're just. Also, if you put in tasks far away, and then you keep putting in tasks like over here, we're doing a lot of building, and I want something built over here on the water, say a water wheel or a water pump, they will never actually get to those things because when they're looking for work, they're just looking at the closest thing that needs to be done and then doing it. So you kind of shoot yourself in the foot. You literally just have to let them get through some stuff. And this as you click these little things, maybe I'll just get those out of the way. Pipes and power, you get these messages that we don't really want. There we go. I have about 20 something hours into this game. And okay, now we're going to let them plant this food. Now it is time to start mining as well. So if you can always right click to get back to this screen, and then you left click to select one. But I don't like the controls, so if you hit the edge of the map, it scrolls. But if you're the kind of person that has 2 monitors, like it inconsistently, sometimes it'll scroll when it goes off onto the other monitor and sometimes it won't. So that kind of drives me bananas, but it is what it is. I'm also just not used to using keypad controls, so there's that. So what we're going to do is mine and plan on some space. I don't know. Let's just take some space out here so we start getting under this mountain. And you never have to worry about getting attacked. The animals don't hunt the dwarfs. I think I'll probably try and get these tools inside. And then I think we'll also go for a bedroom straight away. There's no hotkeys either that I've found. One thing this game currently lacks is like a lot of information. And, those little tips are very helpful. I played the crap out of it. The devs and the people over on the Discord are also very helpful. They've answered they've answered a handful of my questions as I've gotten going with this and learned how to play it well. And I think this game is pretty awesome, and I think it has so much potential. I wish I wouldn't have found it for like another 2 years so that it would be done. Maybe that's not a realistic timeline. I don't know. If you're on the home screen, there's a little dev roadmap in the bottom left. You can actually see what their plan is for it. But All right, everybody still sleeps in the dirt. But when you're out of seeds, this was my seed stockpile. Okay, you know what, that unless they have seeds in their pocket, they'll also just carry shit around. If you don't make, for instance, a food, you make a kitchen, you got all your furniture in there, and you don't make a food zone so that they'll put the food down. This guy, they will literally starve to death because the chef will never cook because the food was in their pocket, and that's that. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. There's some really bad combinations of skills here. I'm not a big fan of that. We don't really have a lot of farmers when all is said and done. Well, we won't have a blacksmith for a while, so you can also scroll this baby around by clicking on the yellow box down there. But anyways, I'm going to leave some farmers set. We are going to need that work done. Farmer blacksmith. That's a weird combination, dude. All right, so how many farmers did that leave me with? 3. But we're going to be doing stonemason and woodcutting work like crazy. So I kind of need to find a different person. We're going to be doing a fair bit of carpentry and mining. We must have a lot of miners set. 3 miners. Jeez Louise. Miner, chef. I guess you can... They're never going to get to farming because they're set to be a miner. And then I think if you try and make them not a miner, that's always going to be the first thing they do. If you add mining in, it'll pop back up the queue. They also hate sleeping outside, so we'll put them all in this bedroom here. You can change their names. You can fart around with that kind of stuff. Always the first thing I do is set up a spot to make wood, you know, like carpentry, turn logs. That's gonna be way too big. You also need to consider how big you want your space. Like I've never actually had a game go long enough without bugging out on me to use even like half of a map. Plus, like, just not a lot happens in the game right now, so there's that. I'm going to remove some of those. We don't really... Oh, geez, that was not a remove command. There we go. Alright, so let's get everybody sleeping inside. And you can go 6 wide in both directions. If you go over that in either direction, your structure will collapse. So if we come down here to zones, we can set up a bedroom. And then, at least for the time being, we'll just do sleeping spots because we haven't grown any cloth to make beds with. Alright, that should be fine. And then later on, we'll also expand out and claim some of this outside space. But for now, we're just kind of stuck with it. So I'm also going to remove tiles here, shrink this baby down, and we're going to put in a masonry workshop. So, masonry, add tiles, furniture. Whenever you click a zone, there's always, not always, but you can if you can build something in that zone, it'll tell you. Alright, we need to start getting rid of some of these blocks. So we'll build that right there. I want this zone to be over here. Then we'll remove tiles from here. We're also going to allow wood logs in this zone. So raw material, logs, and then we'll set priority high. And then I think I'm going to chop a bunch of logs. We are going to... I always get freaking bananas early on and just start going all over the place doing shit. So, priorities early on. We need to protect this stuff. It is protected from the rain, as you can see, because I built the roof for it, but all this stuff is not. So, this zone here, let's pause it. I don't know how things rot. I don't know at what speed, degree. There's really no indication of that at this point in the development. But it doesn't much matter. We'll just assume it's all rotting. So we're going to make... balls. If you delete a zone, they'll usually just delete whatever was in there too. So for instance, if this table had been built before I inadvertently deleted that zone, they would just deconstruct the sawmill for you, which is really unfortunate because I guess I'm just a misclicker. All right, so getting this stuff inside. You can also see we have 2 cauldrons, which is not cool. Everything's just chilling outside. So there's 2 options. We can build a wall, which isn't a bad option. Then we have to build floors and roofs as well. It's a big hassle. But if we mine more, we just end up completely underwater with stones early on until we get more people. The only time you get people is in the spring. And if you don't have extra food and bedrooms and shit, you just won't. Also, this spot right here in the center, if you cover this tile with a wall, maybe another type of building, I don't know, but you will never get new people again. So don't do that. All right, so we're making blocks. We're making wood. Let's slow it down a little bit and see where we want to go from here. I usually wait until the first winter to start making bedrooms. So I had built this weapons stockpile. No weapons ended up in it. That means we have no weapons. Just assume that. All right, so over here, I'm going to build walls. Probably, you also have to be careful because you can only build 3 spaces off a wall. I'm going to put a door down here, so we'll cancel that. I'm sure this will all get mined and something else will get done with it at some point. But let's go ahead and do that. We can add doors. Again, when there's no threats coming in, it's a real nice, chill building game. Now, at some point, if you look... Oh, you don't need to put ceiling over walls. It's just automatically there. Okay, so hit escape. There we go. So this will at least get all of our supplies put inside. We'll floor this up. I always build doors. I always do stone doors on the outside and then wooden doors on the inside. You can also floor it up, but there doesn't seem to be any benefit to doing that one way or the other. They're not getting any kind of beauty or happiness from fancier floors or finished floors, so I don't really muck around with that. You can also build lanterns, but it tells you this furniture cannot be rotated in this version of the game. Somewhere, if you mouse over it, it'll tell you it doesn't have any in-game effect. So, you will see the game gets really pretty dark when you're under mountain here, which we will be shortly. Alright, so I want to leave 2 doors. This is going to be my stockpile for seeds and logs. And you can name it, like, seeds and logs. There you go. Oh shit, we also want a door down here. Boom. I've really been having a lot of fun with this game, even though like it feels like nothing really happens. You will encounter some really dumb shit where they just starve to death for a really stupid reason, or I haven't had anybody freeze to death, die of elephant attack because they tried to hunt an elephant, or die of dehydration because they wouldn't go get a drink of water. This is really frustrating. And then I've probably started over maybe 50 or 100 times. Just once you play through the tutorial in its entirety, then you can choose your starting spot on a new map. So that's worth doing. There's no way to turn that off or make it not work that way. You just have to do it after you install the game. But that's cool as well. So we're getting all these supplies everywhere. So I combine these 2 zones. They're going to fill up really fast. Look at the different types of stone we have. That's interesting. I really want my roofs built to keep all this stuff safe. So we're at the end of spring, and I think what we're going to focus on is getting an eating area set up. Now, typically, I would also set up an area where we can grind ore. But as you can see, like we don't really have any ore nearby. I don't see any fucking ore. That's a little worrisome. We have this stuff, fool's gold. So I don't really need to get going on that straight away. So forget about that. All right, so good. We'll get going next on... you want to do some thought into your layout too. So you'll have a feasting hall. I'm not going to perhaps make this. Your tables are 4 wide, and then your serving tables are 4 wide, and you need a cauldron and a water bucket and chairs. And then around that, you need a place to cook, a place to make bread, a place to brew beer, ideally, because your casks will end up in your feasting hall. Also, you need to remember to leave hallways. Like, many are the times I've done this, and then, like, all of a sudden everything's right on top of each other, and I'm like, shit, now I can't get through there. All right, so I'm going to do a little planning here, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so we'll start with food storage and a kitchen. And I can't imagine that, like I said, if you're using half this damn map, you're going to have kitchens all over. We're going to have bridges to the other side to make enough food, unless we can get the mushroom farms going properly. It's got to be quite the endeavor. But since security is no issue, I don't really bother only having a single secure entrance. I just go bananas, put little doors everywhere so they can get in and out all over the place. And everybody seems pretty happy about that. We also need to get some floors down here. So kitchen, we need to get the food coming in. This is going to be food storage, like I said. And granary, no, food. I might do a half and half on that. Mostly so that, well, these zones are going to combine. There you go. That I don't really like. I don't know that I'd call that a feature, or that I'd call that a frustration. They will easily get stuck too if you're like not careful, and they had started mining here and then they got walled in. They'll die that way from starvation or dehydration. And it won't take long for it to happen either. And you won't get any notification until they actually die. We're going to go bananas on the feasting room here. However, not yet. I don't really need that big of a feasting room. So. One thing I like to have in a very central location, and early on, is a well. So I think we'll make an open space over here. Now we have to run pipes all the bloody way over here, and that's going to take forever, because it always does. But I haven't found any other way to get water brought like reliably and quickly. So you have to build a water pump, a water wheel, and a shit ton of pipes bringing them over here. But you can see they always keep pipes on hand. Where the hell are they? Oh, there's one. We might as well allow wherever pipes are products. I'm going to allow all products in here. There. What else were we allowing? Tools. All tools. Fine. Alright, so we found some different stone. So this will be the feasting hall. Let's get set up with our cooking zone. And again, as soon as it hits end of August, end of fall, we'll start working on bedrooms for everybody. That's how I typically do it. So over here we want kitchen zone. Boom. And for this, we definitely want a water barrel. I always build a butchery workshop, but I never really have. I've only seen these pawns actually hunt once or twice. They'll fish their asses off, though. It's very inefficient, though. Alright, so I leave enough space that I can build another one of these and another one of these in here. I think every time the colony grows, I'll add another one of these and another cauldron. And then your cauldrons need to be reflected in your feasting hall as well, it seems to me. Because they'll cook the food here, and then they'll bring the cauldron in here when it's full of food. And they just keep kicking it back and forth. So, and again, sadly, it's pretty dark unless the mouse pointer's there. And there's really, the light doesn't do anything. Until you get bread, there's no sense in making Do I want that there? I guess we might as well put it in the middle. Until you get bread, there's no sense making one of these serving tables. That's just where the bread gets placed. All right, let's pop that baby in the middle. We'll do a bunch of stone chairs. Some of these things, like you can see, you can mess with what they're made out of in case you don't have a given material. I always go for stone because it feels more dwarfy, more appropriately dwarfy. All right, I'm gonna put a water barrel in here too, mostly so nobody freaking starves to death, and then a cauldron. So then later we'll expand this, and then as we get new settlers, we'll just double everything up. And you can tell, like, shit'll start to look empty. There won't ever be any food around, so that's when it's time to get busy on that. Well, that is going to be it for today. I think we have a nice start. I need to go chop wood as well before I forget for next time. I'm going to take all these bastards out. It is interesting to have multiple different types of wood, but it doesn't seem to matter. When they build stuff, like this table was built out of granite. It's dark. So is this. As they build things, and that includes metal, like this is made out of tin. This is made out of pine. So you'll see the colors of the various constructions change. No one's doing my building. We're waiting for stone block. So third day of summer. We made it through a season. We have all of our plants planted. A lot of construction not happening. I think I'm going to build another one of these if we have the space to do it here. No. Well, we'll worry about that next time. Please leave a like, leave a comment. I do read all the comments. I do respond. I appreciate the likes. If you're not subscribed and you watch my channel all the time, please subscribe. Those things help me out. I love you all, and I will see you next time.